Welcome back to Making a Difference on Buzz TV. I'm Mike White. Join me today is Patrick Heatherington with Synovus Bank. Welcome to the program.
Thanks, Mike. Glad to be here.
So you have been involved in the community in so many different aspects. I want to highlight a few of those. So you are part of Mennonite, Southside Businessmen's Club, and Southside Businessmen's Club Charities. And what other organizations are you involved with in the community?
Well, definitely with the Chamber and
You're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
So your experience with Mennonite, the program's getting ready to be 100 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your involvement in the things that you've participated in.
I participated in the Charity Project Grant, where we have a committee that interviews various local nonprofits and awards a $40,000 capital improvement grant once a year. And it's usually looking for somebody who's needing help where none is available, and most organizations don't do grants for capital improvements, usually just operations. I've been involved this year in membership and as secretary of the club, which means I have to tell people to silence their phones and tell a few jokes and everything until we get the meeting started. But,
are the jokes funny?
Of course they are. They're mine. They're funny.
All right.
Yeah.
So why get involved? Why is it important to take part in the community that you live in?
Well, I mean, if you're going to live in the community, it's always good to be involved in the community so that you can give back for what the community's given to you. I mean, most of my business comes from within the local community, and so I'm very fortunate to have benefited from that. And so by spending time volunteering and working with organizations like this, it helps me get a better grasp of the community.
Talk about the work that you do with Synovus Bank.
At Synovus, I'm a commercial lender, which means I help medium-sized companies finance our operations, make acquisitions for equipment or buildings in which they operate, grow fleets of trucks, things like that.
Now, talking about my personal experience, so Patrick was my personal banker, and years ago, and this is where relationships start, Patrick and I played racquetball for years together. And after about a year and a half of me beating him 3 mornings a week, he says, Mike, I have never really talked about business-wise, but if I can ever help you at Synovus Bank, I'd love to. And I threw out a ridiculous amount of money. I said, listen, I'm happy with my banking relationships, but if you give me an unsecured line of credit with a ridiculous amount, I'll transfer my accounts. Hour and a half later, I get a phone call, said, Mike, let's get together and meet. And the relationship started there. But with my relationship with Synovus, it's been a great relationship where not only the studios we're in were funded, the building we bought funded to 3 of my companies within accounts there. So the encouraging side of having a relationship with a banker who's involved in the community is they are watching out for me and my best interests. Does that pretty much sum up what you do for other clients? Or am I special? Tell me I'm special.
Of course you're special, Mike. Come on. No, that's what we try to do.
So a year ago today, the hurricane came through and actually flooded our offices, and Synovus helped us through that. But business is getting back off the ground. How do you help with that after a tragedy?
Well, we certainly try to help them along wherever we can and just look at what needs are there. I remember you sending me a picture or the video of you wading through water to get into the front door here right after the hurricane, which was pretty rough. But I mean, we worked with a lot of our business owners to try to help them out if they needed some short-term finance or something to help bridge that gap to get them back on their feet. You know, whatever we can do to try to work with them.
So what's the difference? Why work with a bank? Why work with Synovus Bank as opposed to one of the other large national banks?
Well, I mean, we're a regional bank in 5 states, and we're still pretty substantial in size, which means we can meet any of the needs of pretty much any company in Jacksonville. But at the same time, we've got a lot of local management control, and we like to keep things on that community bank feel so that you really have a relationship, just like the one you and I have with whoever's dealing with your day-to-day banking relationship.
And I would just recommend start playing racquetball now. And but if someone wants,
well, because I need the practice.
You absolutely do. But if someone wants to get in touch with you to talk about how to grow their business, how would they reach you?
You can go to our website at synovusbank.com and reach me there.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming on the program, and I appreciate all that you do to make Jacksonville a great community to live in.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you for watching us on Buzz TV. We will see you next time.